Hello, I am Dragon Soul, aka the Seventh Melon. Um, this video is a tutorial on how to port AI from Halo 3 into ElDewrito. Um, so I'll probably be making multiple tutorials covering various different um, modding related things in ElDewrito. Um, but in this video, I'll be covering porting AI specifically. Um, As you can see here, I've got the ODST suppressed SMG weapon, um, so I'll probably be making a um, similar video on how to port weapons and stuff, and probably um, later on down the line I'll make a tutorial on how to port entire maps, which it's not hard. It really isn't. Um, just honestly, porting maps is easier than porting specific tags um, because you just have to do a few commands and move some files around, and then you're good to go. Um, anyway, so I'm starting with, well, aside from the ported SMG, a completely fresh install of um, ElDewrito. To start out with, I highly recommend making a backup or separate install for messing around with making your own modifications like this, because these will not work online unless everyone is sharing these same tags. Open this here. So you would have to, um, and depending on what you've done, I think you'd have to send the um, tags, textures, both files and resources, and also audio. Um, you'd all have to be playing on the exact same thing to prevent crashes and desyncs. Um, oh, and also AI will only sync in the campaign game mode if you're wanting to play online um, with a friend or something. Anyway, so once you have your install, it should look like this. To make a completely fresh install, you want to somehow acquire um, the MS23 file, this specific version. Um, you want to get that. You want to extract it to a folder. You want to get the updater, extract it to the same folder, then update to 0.6. And if you're just messing around offline, you can use 0.6 or 0.610. It really doesn't matter. There's no tag changes between them. But again, keep in mind you can't just play online with other people when you've done extensive tag modifications. You will probably desync or crash your game. All right, yes. So you will need two things. Number one, TagTool, which is the tool that will be um, porting the tags from Halo 3 into ElDewrito. Um, and you will also want assembly, very handy program, especially for, well, mainly for testing things while the game is running, because you can poke changes into the memory. And if you're just wanting to test or swap something without having to close and reopen the game, assembly is great for that. Okay, so you want, oh, and TagTool version. So you may already have like an old TagTool version from like some mods installed. Um, do not copy that. Um, it's best to get a more recent version of TagTool. Um, I am using the one from the 7th. You want TagTool, you also want assembly. You need the version that specifically is able to interface with ElDewrito. Um, and I'll have links to both of these in the description, um, so you can pick those up. So, all right, what you're going to want to do on your fresh install is you're going to want to take TagTool, extract it to your maps folder. You don't want to extract it to your main root folder with where the executable is, ElDewrito.exe. You want it in your maps folder. So you open that. If you have 7-zip, it looks like this. If you have WinRAR, it may look different when you open the zip. Either way, in fact, I don't need to even open it. If you just hold right-click, and I think this should work even with just normal Windows. You just hold right-click and drag into the maps folder, and then just press extract here. Oh, I have WinRAR and 7-zip installed. Again, either one will work. So just extract here. There we go. We have TagTool. So we can close that. We're done with that for now. You can put assembly wherever. Just extract it somewhere, wherever you feel like. Preferably somewhere convenient. So next, after you have both of those things, you have TagTool in the directory, the maps directory. You will go ahead and open TagTool. It is a command line program, which might seem scary at first, but don't worry. It's just a few specific things that you need to put in, and I list each one of those here. So the first thing, so that it'll actually convert properly, I learned this the hard way the first time. You need to name a certain tag, the shield, global shield impact settings. Otherwise, when you try to port a character that has a shield, I don't know if that's necessarily, it might just be any character, but I know when I tried to port the Elite, what happened was I didn't do this first, which I had no clue I needed to do, and it corrupted all of my tags, so I had to reinstall. So again, keep in mind that you can easily corrupt your tags by messing around with stuff. So this game engine is very fun. So go ahead and paste this into TagTool, and then just press enter. It is now named. Oh, then type savetagnames. Okay, so now we're ready to begin porting a character. So the other thing you will need is the Halo 3 or ODST map files or file. I have my both games already extracted here. You will need the extracted version of the ISO. I'm not sure what the name is, but whatever version it is that you can access the .map files. So I will show you what that looks like here. Okay, here is my Halo 3 maps folder. And this is where all the maps for Halo 3 are stored. And since we are wanting to port AI, we're going to want a campaign map. And here's the thing about the Halo game engine. Been this way since Halo Combat Evolved. In all the console Halo games, all resources are saved per each map. And what this means is each map, okay, so say one map has Marines. So all the files for the Marines, the AI files, the Marine character model, all their animations, all of that is stored in the map. And say this other map also has Marines. Well, the Marines in this map are not the same as the ones in the previous map. They might have some of the same files, but they're actually all contained individually within each map. And so if one map doesn't have any Marines that appear in it, there will not be any Marines in its files. So I guess what I'm getting at here is if there is a specific character or tag that you're wanting to port, you're going to need to find a map that has that specific thing. Not just any map will work unless it has that what you're looking for. So for this, I'm going to just use the elite character. So I'm going to use citadel.map, which has friendly elite AI in it. Okay, so copy the address to your Halo 3 maps folder, wherever that is. In TagTool, type open cache file, then in quotes, need the directory to your map, not just the map folder, but to the specific map. So I'm going to copy the name of this map. Make sure to add a slash and then the name and end quote. And then let's see. Yep, that should be it. Loading blam cache file. So it has now opened the cache file for this specific map. So now that this is open, what we need to do is find the character file for the character that you're wanting to port. In order to do that, we need to search for the character files in this map, in this cache file, which is what the maps are called internally, is a cache file. So to do this, we need to do list blam tags. See, if I just did list tags instead of list blam tags, it would list the tags that are in the ElDewrito directory, not the map that I have open. So type list blam tags, and then space. All the different file types are represented by just 4 letters. So characters are char, and that will show us all the characters in this cache. So we got all these, brute, hunter, jackal, marine, elite. Dervish is the arbiter, lead carrier, all these. So again, I'm going to be using the elite. So, and also when you port, you don't have to port everything individually. When you port just one, say, character file, all relevant information will be ported as well. So anything that the tag that you're porting needs to function will be ported just by porting the main tag. So I'm just going to copy the name of this objects characters AI elite character. Make sure you get the whole thing exactly, and then press Control C to copy. And then down here, we're going to type port tag. That looks right. So go ahead and press enter, and the porting process will begin. So do not touch, do anything while this is happening. While this is working on this, I'd like to just take this time to run over a few things that I feel are important to know. One, you might have just selected, well, and I think you only can do one at a time, one tag, port one tag at a time. So you've ported a, say a character tag. There might actually be other character tags linked to it. In fact, I think there is, because I'm pretty sure I remember when I did this last, it actually ported the flood, the elite flood combat form, which makes sense. The flood infection form, the little things that scurry around in the ground, um, which also makes sense. But also the sentinel, for some reason, I'm not sure why that is associated with that tag. But anyway, just found that interesting. So you may end up with more than one character, but you only need to add a tag dependency for the character that you put in the command for. Because if it's loading all the other ones, that means that they have dependencies on that tag. Oh, one other important thing: do not have assembly and TagTool both running at the same time. It's not so much the running at the same time that causes problems, but if you try to save something with either one while the other is open, that is like almost guaranteed to corrupt your tags, if I remember correctly. So I've had them open at the same time before, but it's just best practice to never have both of them open at the same time. It's just good practice. You'll run into less accidental corruptions that way. All right, it is finally done porting. You will know when it's done because sometimes it may pause. It might seem like it's done, but it's until there's a space and it lists. It just goes back to the map name. Um, then it is not done, and you should just don't mess with it. Just wait for it to finish. Um, so it is now done. You see the level name, map name is right here. So now that it is done, I'm just going to type exit. Don't close TagTool because we are not done yet. But exit will just back out of that map file. I don't know if that's really necessary, but I just like to do that. Good habit. And then after you've done that, what we need to do now is add a dependency for that one tag that we ported, the elite character. So what we need to do now is type list tags. You'll remember I did the command list blam tags earlier because I was searching within the Halo 3 map cache. But now we want to search within our ElDewrito installation. So we're going to do list tags, char for character, and that should list, yeah, see, so we got the elite character. Now that we got that, we now want to know what the index is of our map scenarios. So just type list tags again, and then SCNR for scenario. and that will bring up all of your map scenarios. So you're going to want to add a dependency to whichever map or maps you want to put AI on. We'll just do one for right now, but it's just the exact same process for doing the rest of them. So now what we do is tag dependency add, and then the first tag is the base tag, the one that will be loading the child tag. So it's the parent tag. So say we just want to use the yeah, some of these map names aren't the same as they appear in game, which can be confusing. So I know that Riverworld is Valhalla, so I'm just going to do that one. So I'm going to copy the index. All right, so tag dependency add index of the map file, and then the second index will be the dependency that we're adding. So let's see here. Elite character. So we're going to copy the index for that. And what this will do, this means that whenever the game loads this map file will point to this this tag, which is the elite character, and it will make sure that tag is loaded and ready to be used, so it doesn't crash when you try to spawn it. Press enter. Okay, there we go. If you're somewhere in the process and you think you may have forgotten to add a dependency, you can actually check that by doing tag dependency list on, and then the tag that you're wanting to check to see if it has the dependency or not. So again, we'll copy that index, paste. That's how you check to make sure that you've got the dependency. If that's not there, if there's no if the level you're trying to spawn it in is not on this list, the game will crash when you try to spawn this this tag. Also, keep in mind, since we've only added dependency to this one map, if we try to spawn it on any other maps, the game will crash. So we can only do this map, or whatever map that we add dependency to, which you can, again, do for all maps. It's just kind of tedious. So, all right. Now we are done with this process. So now what we can actually do, you can either type exit or just close it, close TagTool now. I think we're pretty much done with TagTool. So now we can open, since I don't need this open anymore. We just want to test to make sure that everything worked correctly. Oh, and here's what I'm using assembly. So I'm going. I'm using 0.6 instead of 0.6.10, just because I'm lazy and haven't updated it. So I'm going to go to host forge map. Did Valhalla, if I remember correctly. I'm going to start forge there. While this is loading, go ahead and open assembly. And go to open content file. You will want to navigate to your directory, which in my case is on the desktop, so go to your maps. You can open any map. It doesn't actually have to be the one that you are using. It can be any of them. It can even be the main menu map. It does not matter because ElDewrito and the Halo Online engine actually have a unified tag um, cache. Everything is stored um, in one spot. Um, well, several different spots, but everything between all different maps is shared. And it's all in that. Anyway, so um, now what you're going to want to do so that we can test this is you're going to want to open a weapon tag so that we can spawn the AI through a firing effect. So I'm just going to use the power plasma rifle. So I'm going to search plasma. Excuse me. And I'm going to come down here to weapon. Trying this out so we can see plasma rifle power. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to search for it. You can search up here at the top. Firing effect. And then keep hitting next until you get to the block here that says firing effects. And you're going to see this here, it says firing effect. It's going to have an effect tag. So you can just press X here. You want to press the little arrow next to it. That'll take you to that effect tag. You're going to want to scroll down to where it says parts. And then in here, you're going to want to go down to where it says anticipated class note. So spawned tag is what we're going to want to change here. So right now it's loading a spawn or a sound file, but we want it to load a character file. So what we're going to do is find, there it is, character, CHAR. I'm going to do AI delete for right now. And you actually have to, for some reason, in Halo 3 it's spelled normally, but you have to, under anticipated tag class, write the the type of tag that you're spawning. The four-letter name, you have to write that backwards. Yeah, it makes no sense, I know. But once you're done with that, hit poke, and this will poke your changes into memory. All changed metadata has been poked to the game. And then we can hop in here, spawn a, let's see, power plasma rifle. We're going to pick it up, say a little prayer that the game doesn't crash.
Enemy!
We should look at that. There they are.
What? Look out! They are everywhere! They are everywhere!
Here I was worried I probably screwed something up somewhere, but nope. They're there.
Destroy that thing!
So they will move out of the way for like explosions and stuff, but they're still kind of stupid right now. They will, I think they will attack you if you. Why do they all die to one melee? He didn't. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. They will melee you sometimes when you're really close. which is actually one of the reasons I chose the Elite, because they have an unarmed melee attack. I think there's a few that don't. Um, so these are just Elites are nice, for that. I know they have that, so let's take that. Notice that they are not friendly. I don't actually know how to change that. I've tried changing their like default team and their biped, and I have no clue how to get them to not be
This is
aggressive.
our
Oh crap, they do a lot of damage. Insert Phil Swift in here. So anyway, yeah. So you got your AI in game, but they're not moving. So depending on what you're doing, this may be enough for you. Um, but if you're wanting to mess around, and have them chase you around, um, then there's some more stuff we need to do. But we only need to use assembly. We don't have to mess with TagTool again. I mean, you could do it with TagTool, but for a beginner, and for most people that aren't just complete wizards with TagTool, assembly will be much easier to use and to navigate. The main thing with assembly is it is not able to do some of the more advanced things that TagTool does. Oh, I'm going to actually save this real quick, um, so I don't have to do all this again next time I open um, the game. So I'm going to close the game now, because what I'm going to do now, I don't know if the changes will actually poke to memory. A lot of things will, some things won't in assembly. Um, but anyway, so in order to get the AI to follow you, um, it's this process is going to vary a little bit based on which character you're using, but the general concept is the same. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to open. Um, actually, we're going to search to make life easy for us. We're going to search Elite, and come down to JMAD. Um, I I don't know what that stands for, but that's what we want. Stands for model animation graph, evidently. Um, so then you want to open Elite or whatever character you're wanting to follow you around. Let me check this right quick to make sure. Okay. Yes, you're going to want to search for modes here. Yep. So modes. Um, then modes, weapon class. Oh yeah, modes. You want to change, or not change, but just click on this once, and then just like scroll through it until you get to right here. It will say all these um, different modes, but you want combat, and that means once that they are aware of the player, is when they enter the combat stage, or mode rather. Um, so weapon class unarmed. Um, you have to do some more edits in order to actually have them have weapons equipped. Um, so if you want them to have like a gravity hammer or guns or something, you'll need to go ahead and change um, each one of these. If you're wanting them to follow you with those, or if you want them to just stay put, then don't mess with this. But So here under weapon class, unarmed, weapon type any, that's the only option. Actions. So again, we're going to want to click once on that. Um, well, actually click twice, once to open it, once to close it again, and then we can just scroll through. Um, so idle. Um, Notice there's an animation, I think index is what it's called, animation index down here. Um, what you're going to want to do is copy the index of the walk forward animation um, and paste it here under the idle action. Um, so we're going to, yep, move front is what you want. Um, so animation 577, copy that. Go back up here to idle. I'm going to paste that and then hit save. Um, we don't need to poke because the game is not open. Just go ahead and minimize assembly. Open game again. Alright, let's see if this worked. I don't see why it wouldn't, but you never know with this stinking game engine. Alright. Oh. Yeah, oh. He's just, he's got places to be. He's pretty upset about stuff. So, yeah, they're moving around now. Sometimes they'll just wander off into the sunset like you see there. Other times they may just like continually push into you and not actually do anything. To solve this, just murder them in cold blood for getting in your personal space. Oh yeah, here we go. If you just fire a couple times, they'll know where you are and they will all start chasing you. Beautiful. Oh, and they pull out swords when they are stuck with a grenade. Also, the game will just kind of crash periodically if you keep spawning and killing a bunch of AI. So it's just something that happens. Usually it takes a while though. I think you should be fine as long as you just don't go absolutely overboard like I'm going to demonstrate. Good lord. Oh my gosh. Those dudes are just chilling. Oh, yeah, also if you... They're kind of... Oh, they're not stuck. No, they're not. Never mind. Never mind. If you spawn a just absolute metric ton of AI, sometimes some of them will stop thinking. And by that I mean like some of them will just stop doing anything, like they'll stop responding to like anything at all. They'll just kind of stay in one spot. It's called, I don't know, it's some sort of overloading. I'm gonna try something. I'm just messing around at this point. You've already got enough. You can just leave and have fun. I'm just having fun myself right now. Let's see if I can just like... oh yes.
Your brother has fallen!
Oh yes, he has. Freaking breakdancing tank, oh my god. Where are they all going? It's actually too much fun. Oh man. So, another thing to note, yeah, the AI will just kind of run in a straight line, pretty much, because there's no pathfinding on multiplayer maps. They will just kind of stand around, um, or when they see you, they'll come in a straight line. They have some certain things they can do, like jumping over obstacles and whatnot. Um, I don't know what kind of mating rituals happening over here, but I'm gonna leave them alone. Um, so, um, I completely forgot everything I was just about to say. Again, I cannot believe it hasn't crashed yet. Oh my gosh, they can board? I guess. Oh, oh my god. Shoot. I didn't know they can board, but apparently they can't really much out. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my gosh. No! Kicking me out. I was just gonna play until it crashed, but maybe I just need to go even crazier.
Enemy! In our midst! Look out! They are everywhere! What? What? Look out! They are
Freaking
everywhere!
crap! Can I spawn the elephant there? I can't. Oh my god. I'm kind of curious how they will handle this, honestly. I think I just squished one. He's trying to get out. He is on. He doesn't know what to do with his life now. I'm stuck. Or am I? What is that dude doing? He's gonna get squished. Alright. Oh my god, the noises are honestly just so amusing to me. Something's happened. What the heck? Did one of them get in the lift? I think he did. He just out of here. Ah, he's coming back. This way. There he goes. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's still coming. He's not even looking where he's gonna run into. Truly majestic creatures. They're the prof. Oh god! No, how did he get away? Freaking heck, dude. I don't know how he did it. Oh, gave me a heart attack. Oh my gosh. Okay. Gosh dang it. Oh, there it is. It finally crashed. I don't even know why. So, anyway, I will be going to bed now. Adios.